Welcome on in. Welcome to the 411 podcast. What's going on? Anybody out there listening? I see, make sure I got this right. Dennis out there on TikTok. Let me know where you are calling from. Thank you for coming on in tonight. We're going to reminisce a little bit. We have a guest that was on before in the past, and she's coming back. Recording artist, Luna Tide. Going to find out about what's going on in her neck of the woods, what's going on with the music, and we're going to have some fun tonight. Thursday, February 17th, 2022. Welcome on into the 411 podcast. Go ahead and tag your friends. Let them know what's going on. Dennis, what's up? mm, I can tell you're a Mary J. Blige fan already, and any Mary fans are my friends, so that's what's up. Thank you for joining in, and absolutely, the Queen of Hip Hop Soul was real iconic, and it was just off the chain. We're gonna speak just a little bit. I know I can talk about Mary from top to bottom and can stay on her for hours, but we're gonna touch base on the Super Bowl in a different way. So if the conversation of Mary comes out, then I guess it just comes out, but it's probably gonna come out a little later today. But yeah, we gotta talk about the Super Bowl in a different way. Got something interesting for y'all. Welcome on in. So, this is a time that I had to actually get with myself and reflect a little bit and think back of, the podcast, where it started at, where it's at right now, and where I want to see it go. And through this, I had to learn how to get out of my own way. Get out of my own way, stop looking at certain things, stop, putting too much pressure, if I can say that, too much pressure and too many deadlines, my own deadlines on this podcast. Who knows which direction it's going to go? Who knows who's going to get this message tonight? Who knows who's going to come in, 6 months from now? And that's exactly it. I had to tell myself that we're going to take a little step back, and we're going to enjoy this ride. We're going to enjoy this journey instead of putting too much pressure. I felt that I was putting too much pressure on this situation, and I didn't really understand what had actually happened. I know I talked about it before, but I had a chance to actually go back and listen to a couple shows, and sometimes you do have to go ahead and pat yourself on the back. Not that I really like doing that, but I watched a super old show from Vonlene Jackson that was on, and that was back when I first got started, and I was saying how, sometimes you have to pat yourself on the back because there are times when nobody else will do it. And that was way before it even morphed or manifests into what it is today. So when I think about the growth from back then and 2020 to right now where we're at, definitely a point in my life where I have to actually show myself some love and say, all right, not that we could chill, but we doing it. So for those of you who continue to rock with me time after time and has been here and continue to grow with me through this, I want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. The people who watched the replays, and so many people came through and showed love, even just yesterday. I want to say thank you. Now let's get into the song of the day. Very special happy birthday to this gentleman here, Mr. Ed Sheeran. It's his birthday today, and the song is Shape of You. I don't know if anybody felt that song when it was out, but yeah, just that song. When I think about a good Ed Sheeran song, 2017, Shape of You. Happy birthday. Very talented. And I can't wait to hear new things from you as well. And Dennis says also Snoop and I got, oh, Snoop and I go back a long time. Yeah, I remember Snoop Dogg when I was younger and his first CD came out. I don't know, 10, maybe 9, 10. I remember listening to the Doggy Style album, which I probably shouldn't have been listening to at the time. but it definitely was crazy back then. And of course, my favorite song off of that album was Ain't No Fun. And I got to give a very special shout out and a rest in peace to my best friend Shantae for introducing me to Snoop Dogg, Tupac. She was down with the West Coast and I was down with the East Coast, and we always used to rival back and forth as far as who's better than who. But yeah, she was all about Pac and Snoop and all of them when we were younger. Um, yeah, it's amazing. What's going on, Mr. Will? Thank you so much for joining on Instagram. Um, Backing up, speaking of the growth and where we have come from with the podcast, I can never continue to start this show without giving thanks to the people who come through from time to time. A couple nights ago, we had Polished plus size model come on, and she's a HSN model. So she spoke about her journey and what it's like to get into this game when people doubted her, when people laughed at her when she started her career in her 40s, and people said you need to hang it up, you need to stop. This is not going to work for you. And she was like, "All right, that's cool. I got you. I'm gonna show you." And from people laughing at her, she ended up turning it into I'm a model, I'm hosting, I'm on HSN. So if you really want to listen to her journey, watch that replay, but go back because this is her second time coming on, and you can see the growth and the conversation that her and I have. I love it when people come back and we pick up right where we left off. Um, Shout out to all of y'all out there on TikTok. Why E Growth? Thank you for joining in as well. Why did I listen? My bad if I got it all jacked up. YRE Hair Growth. What's up? Thank you for joining on TikTok. Um, Liz from Coffee and Convos. She has a podcast, Coffee and Convos with Liz. Thank you for coming through and showing me some love, especially on Facebook as well. I appreciate that. My friend Angela, the wonderful, talented author from the ATL, Miss Lachelle Williams, another friend of the show, my Survivor podcast voice, my Survivor voice podcast. I got to get it together. See what happens when I take some time off. My Survivor voice podcast, Danny from my Survivor voice. Thank you. Nordia from Shea Heaven. Sophie Davis from the UK. Grace. Miss Rebel Jewel. Thank you so much for coming through. I haven't talked to you in a while. I see good things are going over on there. My brother, Mr. Nate Perry from Brooklyn, New York. What's up, New York? Bethany Trent from California. And I have a very special announcement. I have been signed on to join Mr. Alex Coquito every Saturday night at 11 p.m. That's 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here, but it's 12 p.m. midnight in Puerto Rico for Midnight Vibes. So I will be on the Midnight Vibes show every Saturday, directly after we get off of the 411 podcast. I want y'all to come on over and follow me on Mr. Alex Coquito's page on YouTube. And he is introducing a new show, which is called Midnight Vibes, featuring your boy right here. Check us out. And that is Alex, AlexCoquito. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all that I watched the replay from the other day and I spelt it wrong, but I'm coming back here to let y'all know what it is. Alex Coquito, almost like Mojito, Coquito, Coquito, introducing Midnight Vibes, coming every Saturday on YouTube. Talking real life. We're going to talk different things. You definitely might get a different side of me on that show. I haven't decided whether we're going to keep the shades on or we're going to take them off or we're going to do something different. But yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. So check me out there. All right. Now, for all of y'all coming fresh off of Valentine's Day and all that stuff and all of that stuff and all of that stuff. Getting back into the game. I just did this for Valentine's Day. I want to know, how do you know when you have met the love of your life? What are some of these signs? So for the people out there who are truly in love, not this fake stuff, I'm talking about some real stuff. You've been through it. You feel like you can never live without that person. Like that person might be a soulmate, might be a twin flame. This is some real stuff. Not that I just met you a couple days ago and I want you to be my baby daddy and all of this other stuff. I'm talking about some real investment. You feel what that person feels, they feel what you feel, y'all on the same page. Maybe you finish each other's sentences, stuff like that. How do you know when you truly have met the person that you're supposed to be with, the love of your life? What are some of these signs? Help me out. Help me out. Let me know if I'm on the right path or not here. Very special shout out to anybody that's watching out there on Facebook, as well as Twitter, YouTube, D Live, or Twitch. Drop it in the comments. Let me know where you're calling from. 411 Podcast. We have recording artist Luna Tide coming in, and we're going to check out and see what's going on in her world and her environment. Speaking of environment, when you think of the word environment, it's the surroundings, the condition in which a person, could be animal, it could be a plant, person, animal, plant, thing, lives or operates in. The surroundings, the conditions in which a person, which would be you, which would be me, um, is our surroundings and operate which we function in. So when we think about the definition of environment, a couple keywords that, touch base with me here. Surroundings. So that's the surroundings, that's the people around you, okay? But what is the condition of your environment? So now I have to ask y'all all the simple question here because this is very important. We are a product of our environment, right? So have you taken a look at your environment? Now, is your environment, we know that that's a representation of you. Is your environment telling the truth on you or is it telling a lie? And if you feel that your environment is telling you a lie, what are you doing or what have you done to correct the situation? Let's take it back. I want to take it back and I want to reflect on my life back in 2020, 2019, 2018. Let's take it on back, take it on back. I had a chance to be who I was supposed to be at a certain point in my life. That door was open, but I decided to take another direction. So because I took another direction, there were some consequences. And then after a while, my environment started to change. It was here, but I didn't go through that door and I didn't keep it. So I decided to go in another direction. And then all of a sudden, slowly but surely, things started to erode away. People started to really show me who they were. And my environment changed drastically. People who knew Laren, they knew one way. And then over the years, they started to see something else. Have you ever had a friend, family member where all of a sudden they can't see what you can see? They might be headed down a path of destruction and they don't even understand. And all you can do is just sit back and watch. And I'm just saying, are you in that situation? Have you taken some time to step outside and get out of your own way and look at your environment? Look at the people that are around you and be like, all right, is this telling the truth about who I am as a person? Or is this whole situation, what I got going on right here, this ain't nothing but a lie. So I need to go ahead and fix this situation. We're talking about environments. I know my environment today looks a hell of a lot different than what it did a year ago, 2 years ago.
Hello.
What's going on?
Hello.
What's the 411, hon?
A 411. Oh,
So,
I was like, oh, yeah.
so, what does your environment look like these days? Does it speak the truth about you, or sometimes you feel it's telling a lie?
Oh, we're going straight into it. So, I honestly, at this moment, I'm going to get real.
Mm-hmm.
So, I feel like internally right now, I'm sorting through a lot of things. So then my house and my environment around me, so the environment I'm in and in my room and all of that reflects that. It reflects that. a lot of sorting needs to be going on.
Mm. Now,
And uh-huh,
now's the time to declutter, clean some things up in your life. It's still February, so it's still early,
there we
but
go.
sounds like you're on the right path. But I was just speaking to my daughters the other day, and I'm like, yeah, it's time to clean up your environment, keep things
Uh-huh,
clean, let things go that need to be let go, let people go. I mean,
right.
I started early in January, so
Oh, look at you.
people
And,
who are no longer adding any value to your life, it's time to just cut them,
right.
let them go. Is it easy for
That
you to
is
let
true.
people go?
Honestly, yes. I've noticed it has been a lot easier because I'm very
That's good.
also be like introverted a little bit. I'm like, okay, I just don't talk to them as much, get my energy out of it,
Oh,
and then
so
eventually just falls off.
so you're introverted, right? So you're not going to be the person that's going to reach out all the time. So if these people
And it
aren't,
goes in and out. It's kind of weird. Like I can like start conversations,
hmm
but I just have less energy for conversation sometimes.
I
If
hear
that
you.
makes sense.
I'm glad that I'm not a person that was constantly reaching out to people, because then I
Oh
think
yeah.
I would be in a situation. I think people who are attention seekers and have to reach out, they have it rough. But when it's people
Mm-hmm.
who are more to themselves and they close themselves off, when people stop talking to them, they're like, all right, whatever. Like, I'm good. Like, thank you. But people who need to feed off of other people for energy and they have to have that constant need, I think it's rough for them when they try to make a change. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm not saying that everybody arrives at a
Mm-hmm.
different time. But if you're so used to being the one chasing and chasing and chasing, it's hard for you to back up and not do that all of a sudden because you're so used to it.
Right. And
Rather
that's
than
when
somebody that's just like, all right, I ain't picking up the phone then.
right.
Like,
Oh yeah. Most definitely. Total opposite.
so let everybody know where you are calling from.
Yes, I'm calling from Palm Springs, California. I'll
Oh
be
my
here in the
God.
desert.
One of my favorite places. Let me reminisce a little bit. What is the weather like there now?
Oh, okay. So, of course, night times get chilly,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna brag about our daytime weather right now.
hmm
It's been like high 70s, and then we're even going up to like 90s soon. So,
When you say soon,
uh,
is that like this month that it's going up to the 90s?
most likely at the end of this month, start early March. Yeah, it's been like rising fast. I'm
Oh,
getting
so it starts in
it's fast
March.
2 weeks of winter.
Okay, so it starts in March. Like when I went there, I think I went in June or July. So you know what that was like, right?
Oh yeah, oh
Now,
yeah.
everybody else complain, but I don't mind it. My motto is burn me the F up. I want to be hot. I loved it. It was crazy. Like you don't even really need a towel when you get out of the pool because by the time
Not
you
at
walk
all.
across, you're already dry.
Exactly.
That's cool. So it takes you about what, 2 hours to get to LA?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
5 hours.
Speaking of LA, I want to talk about the Super Bowl. What did you
Hmm.
think about it?
Okay, so I didn't watch the whole football show or the
hmm
whole game. I don't know why I say football. I'm about to the halftime show. That's why. But I was at work, but I did. I did go back to YouTube to watch the halftime show,
And
and the halftime show was on point.
what was your
Like, oh,
favorite part of the halftime show?
ooh. Okay, so my favorite part of the halftime show was definitely. That's a good question. Okay.
I'm fishing. I'm fishing. I'm fishing.
I know. I'm trying to figure out like what was because they're all really wonderful artists. Mm-hmm.
hmm If you had to pick one, that was the best.
I loved when Dre got on the piano for sure.
Oh,
That
okay,
was fun.
okay.
I like
Yeah.
still Dre played too. Yeah.
Now, it's one of your favorites out of all of the artists there.
Oh yeah, Dre
Okay.
and Mary J. Blige. So it's Mary J. Blige too.
I was waiting for you to say that name.
Yeah.
That way I didn't have to say it. I was like, can somebody else say it? So you have to say it. But
Gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
I that you know what? Out of them, I love the Snoop performance. I
Mm-hmm.
really did when they first started it off. I love the way Snoop does his dances. But of course,
Oh,
I'm a huge Mary J. Blige fan, so that was real dope. Real dope.
it was
Um,
real good.
so speaking of the Super Bowl, what do you feel about the game speaking out saying that he was left out? You think the game was
Ooh.
left out?
I feel like no, like sometimes sometimes things just get set up
Mm-mm.
without you. I don't think it was anything personal. I
Well,
just feel like how
I'm on Game's
mm-hmm.
behalf. I think Game was left out because how dope
Do
would
you
it
feel
have been?
that?
How dope would it have been for 50 to come there and do his thing, and for him to jump down, and then them to get into the hate it or love it with the Game and 50, and then they brought Mary out. That would have been real dope too, with the remix. So the Game, I think you got me with that one. I think they could have given him a spot.
Okay, I can see.
I mean, everybody else was there. Why not? You had wasn't Anderson Pack playing the
Mm.
guitar? I mean, why couldn't the game been sitting there chilling on the couch, even if he wasn't doing anything? I'm
Okay, I
just
can see that. You give good point.
I'm just
Good point.
saying. They were like Ice Cube wasn't there. There was supposed to be a Pac hologram, but somebody shut
Mm.
that down. I don't know. But anyway, so let's talk about your live performances. So Super Bowl was the epic performance so far to kick off the year. What is it like for you performing nowadays?
Yeah, so I've been getting over my stage fright. Sometimes I would go up there like scared out of my mind, like, oh my gosh,
Hmm.
I can't do this. But I've been having more fun with it. A lot more like time taking the attention, like, okay, this is your moment. This is all you got. So you better take it, and then it's gonna be over. That's a guarantee. It's gonna be over. And
So you
so I've just been taking the time to enjoy it, really.
so you prefer the studio over live performances?
Oh yes, I prefer the studio, but I've been enjoying live performances a lot more. Like, okay, I can find my groove a lot better in front of the crowd, and like I'm working on hyping the crowd up and stuff. So it's a process.
Now, give us a good inclination of what your music is like. What would it sound like? What genre? I know I asked this before, but for the people who are listening tonight and people who will watch for the first time tomorrow, um, what's your genre like? Where would you fit in?
Yeah, so like I said, it in the R and I do dabble a lot into hip hop and trap. That's like the little range. The majority of my songs are. Sometimes I do like to venture out into like emo trap sometimes, but
Hmm.
that's my main ones are definitely R&B, trap, and hip hop.
Now, I know we didn't discuss this ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, are you in the mood for giving us a little bit of something tonight? Or is that you have to be prepared and get in your zone? If so, I understand.
Oh my gosh, I am always ready.
Okay. Spoken like a true
Yeah,
artist.
like I just got connect computer to speakers. This one plug.
Now, don't get us thrown off here now. Don't be
Oh no.
playing something that is copying or whatever, because they get real funny
Oh
on
no, I
here.
got you. Everything I'll do. Something that's all me.
King CEO Trey, what's going on? Where are you calling from? So I seen we had Detroit in the house, and
Hey.
YE. Oh my God, help me out, please. YRE says you can be yourself at all times with that person. We were talking about when you know who your true love is, when you can be yourself. That is so true because when you to
That
these
is.
relationships, and that's so funny because yesterday when I was listening to a replay, I was talking about how getting into a situation, you want to be who you are because when we meet people, we always show them that representative. So
Right.
when I'm talking to a certain individual, I'm like, all right, is this the real you? Or am I dealing with your representative? Because I want to make sure that you get the real me at all times. The person that I am showing up here today, 6 years from now, I want it to be that same person. I don't want to do that switch after about 3 months, 4 months. You start to really show the person who you really are. How about we just squash all of that and you see all my ugly, I see all yours, and can we get together and work and make this thing work out? So thank you, YRE, for giving us that because that is so true. All right, so now let's get back to what you got going on here.
Well, that was all true. I was listening to what you were saying.
Oh, I know you don't like the live performances, but we can't see you.
I know. That's perfect. Okay. That was calm, collected.
So you got something for us, or we gonna skip
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. We ready
No.
whenever you are.
I'll be ready. Okay. I'll just play a little bit of it because I'm not everything. Okay.
Oh, wait a minute.
What happened?
Are you playing it or are you gonna sing it? Are you playing it for us?
I want to play it. Are you want me to sing it for it?
Yeah. No. See, you was trying to get off easy. Mm-mm.
Oh my gosh,
I
yes I was.
that's no. You just see y'all hear
Okay,
that right?
okay,
You ain't right. I said I'm gonna put you on the spot. Can you give me a little bit? Now, if I want to know what you sound like, you want me to pull it up? I could pull it up and play it. Now I want to hear you live.
Yeah, okay, let's do it live there. Gotcha.
Oh,
All
you
right.
ain't right. Mm-mm.
What? Gotcha. We're on.
This is
Hey
not
guys, I got
April.
caught.
April
Sorry.
is not here yet. You were trying to do some April Fools early. You ain't right.
I gotta always be ahead of the game, you know? That's my mind right now, April.
She said, I'm ready and then hit play. You ain't right.
Yeah, I got you.
Oh,
Alrighty.
man.
Alright, do you just want me to acapella it?
Yeah, just give me like a little. I just want to hear your voice, how you would be, live. Less than a minute. You need me to do backup vocals for you? I can.
Oh yeah, I do a little oohs and ahs. in the pockets, in the pockets.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Look me in the eye, say you love me. These butterflies eyes feel so lovely, darling. You make my cloudy days sunny. When the music plays, there's nothing but vibrations going around. Move faster and slow down. Baby, we don't need a crowd. For this heaven that we found. For this heaven that we found. This heaven that we found.
I hear so many new artists that are relevant today in your voice. I also hear a little Corinne Bailey, right? Do you know who she is?
Yes, yep.
I love her. I even think I heard a little bit of some London soul. So now, what was the title of that song? What was that called?
Yeah, when heaven we found.
One more time. Hit again.
Yep, heaven we found.
Oh, Heavenly Sound. I thought I just wanted to make sure I had it right. Okay. Now, what project is that off of?
Yeah, so this one's going to be coming up on the California Flower EP that I'm working on right now. Project in the works.
So California Flower. How did you come up with that name for the project?
Yeah, so, okay, so it was like during a time, it was about a few years ago, actually. So I found the desert. I kind of just graduated high school like a year ago during this time. And I just wanted to move out of like my hometown and out of like this area that I'm so used to, but I kind of thought of it, it's like the desert, like there's nothing like growing here. And so it's like kind of a paradox off of like a flower. A flower needs like nurturement to grow.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like I'm getting that here because everything's so like dry here. I need a different environment. This doesn't work for me.
That's craziness. You want to switch? Because I'm here in Jersey. Right now, I got rain, which is not right because I didn't know that it was going to rain, but apparently there's rain and it's temperatures of 17 degrees, anywhere between 10 and 17 when you wake up in the morning. I mean, so we could switch if you like, because
not over there. Yeah, a little farther out. I like California.
Now, speaking of flowers in the desert and stuff like that, one thing that does grow are cactuses.
Oh yeah.
Now, I recently came across some because I was in Arizona last month, and I'm a big kid. I watch cartoons and stuff. I like a bunch of silly stuff to make me laugh. So I remember cartoons with people touching cactuses and pricking your finger and stuff. So part of me wanted to touch one, but I was like, nah, I'm not. So have you ever touched one, and is it true that it will really prick you like that? I mean, it looks like it would.
I mean, it hurts. I've been poked by a cactus, but you just learn to stay away from them because there's like so many, even in just people's lawns.
Oh,
yeah. They use it as like the desert landscape, and so it hurts like a needle. Like it feels like a needle prick. And it's out of nowhere, so of course it's like scarier. What was that?
So you're like, you want to stay away from them.
Oh yeah, of course you don't want to touch a cactus. But they have fruit. They do grow fruit, and you could eat the fruit from a cactus. So that's cool.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is it certain times of year that happens, or it's just because I didn't see them?
From what I've noticed, because we had like one cactus in front of our house when I was growing up, and it's mostly like March, April time, springtime, and then it depends on the cactus, of course, but there would be like one piece of fruit, and you could take them inside and like cut them up. It's good. It's good fruit.
I always want to know if there's
what type of fruit it is, though.
Want to know if there's really water inside of them.
That's a good question. Well, I haven't tested it.
Yeah.
And
the silly things that I'd like to know.
I'll have to test it for you. And then send you a video.
So now, what are some things that you like to do on your off time when it comes time to just relax and getting away from the world, unplugging? What are some things that you like to do?
Yeah, I like to write. I like to sit and write poetry a lot. And I like to do random arts and crafts stuff. So like random stuff throughout the week. I'm like, what am I like trying out today? We'll paint. Or I like to do my nails too, like the acrylics.
That's one thing that I did not do well in when it came to art class. I didn't like that too much. Draw a person. It was more like a stick figure. Like, yeah, this ain't happening.
Oh yeah, I understand. I think the problem you had like to follow this like pathway they were giving you or the guidelines they gave you. But I think art's fun when you just don't have a guideline. You're just like, okay, I'm gonna paint whatever I feel like painting. And you can't judge it because it's art. This is what I'm feeling right now.
Now, speaking of things that I liked in school, one of my favorite classes growing up in elementary was music class. That was fun. A lot of people didn't like music, but I did. And I was like, yeah, I like this. Couldn't sing, to save my life, but I like music class though. I used to always try to play the piano and didn't know what I was doing.
Oh, yeah. Music class is definitely fun.
Now, do you play an instrument?
Yeah, I play piano, and then I'm trying to get back into saxophone. So I did play saxophone
Mm.
and the xylophones, but the xylophones are kind of go with piano a little bit. Get more
Oh,
percussion.
yeah, that sounds fun. It's probably you probably enjoy playing the xylophone better than the piano, right?
Oh yeah, xylophone was fun.
Yeah, that
I don't have
sounds
an
fun.
xylophone now though. It's
Hmm.
just piano.
Mm-mm-mm. Wow, that sounds fun. So, of course, I want to go ahead and introduce you to burning questions, which I know I asked some questions in the beginning, but now we're going to get a little bit deep. So, for those of you who are watching for the first time, this is Burning Questions. So, this is a segment of the show where I basically flip it and put my guests in a hot seat. But this is more so going to be just real life situations because I know we have all probably experienced this at one point, going through it right now. And if not, you're probably going to be dealing with it in the future. So I was always told that basically you should learn how to tell the truth because if you don't, then you're going to have to tell another lie to get out of this lie and get out of this lie and get out of this lie. And I learned that early on as a kid. Some of us, we just haven't learned that lesson. And we still got some adults out here that can't keep it real. And as they say, can't keep it 100. But so for you, how do you maneuver around people? And it could be loved ones, family, it could be long term friends, people who you just can't write out of your life. Like, sometimes when people are no good, you're like, F it, done, scratch it. But these are some people that you just can't write off that quick. Like I said, they're close to you. Some friends, family, long term friends, um, who tend to stretch the truth just a little bit too much. Like, you know damn well that that's not how the story went. But let
Right.
you go ahead and say it. I guess so. It could even be somebody on your job. Who knows? Again, somebody who you just can't get rid of that quick. You have to interact with them one way or the other. So, how do you maneuver around these situations?
Right. Okay, so for these situations, I definitely keep the interaction brief or on a need to interact basis. Like, there's no other way. We just gonna be there. Then that's that. But it's gonna be a brief interaction.
Hmm.
It's, yeah, because I'm not gonna put all my energy into knowing I'm putting myself into a situation that is not genuine.
I used to get so upset when people would lie because I knew that they weren't telling the truth. And my thing was, I need you to tell the truth. Like, that's just something that you shouldn't do. But when you realize that these are just people and there's nothing you can do and you can't control people, which was one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn in my life, you can't control people. You can't
Uh-huh.
beat people into submission, which basically is trying to make people do things the way you would do it. We're all
Right.
unique, we're all different. People do things different. So I guess your thing is just to be a liar, or your thing is to just BS people and blow smoke. So when it happens today, I am just like you. It's just like I tone it out, tune it out, tone it out, whatever you want to call it. But
Uh-huh.
they could be talking and I don't even understand what they're saying. I'm
Oh
already I'm
yeah.
already over on something else. Like I know full well that this person, everything that comes out of their mouth is a lie, and you ain't going nowhere because you're here. So it is what it is. Guess I have to deal with it.
Exactly.
Have you ever dated somebody that was just a straight up habitual liar, but you were just so in love with them that you kept them around just because?
Hmm.
Like you knew
I
full
don't think
well
I've
that
been in that specific situation. No.
no?
No, have you?
Well, aren't you lucky? And the answer is yes.
Oh my goodness.
Aren't you
No,
just
you
such
sound like you're speaking from experience.
tons of experience? There was a situation where somebody just could not help themselves. And like I said, you told one lie, you got to tell another lie, you got to tell another lie, you
Right.
got to tell another lie, to where After it all started to crumble, within 3 months, I could tell and see right through the person. Like, yeah,
Um,
this ain't right. But the key thing is once you see through the BS, you have to react and you have to do something about it. If you don't, you're basically backing up, drawing another line in the sand, allowing them to step over it and F it up again, and then you just backing up and you backing up and you backing up. So some
exactly. You're
people
trying to keep the ball in their court and
some people stay
stay
stuck
playing
though.
the game.
So you are very fortunate to have not dealt with any of that BS, which is good. You know, musicians go through some things now.
Oh yeah.
Just want to let you know. So, do you think that you would use your personal life experiences, love to, you know, interact with your music, direct the path of your musical direction, or can you completely separate the two?
I use a lot of my own life experiences. I haven't got to the point where I could fully connect the two because I'm also still creating the persona of Lunatide.
Mm,
So
okay.
it's like a right now. It's a lot of mixture of. That's what kind of goes into even my EP is a mixture of reality
Mm,
and fantasy, the
mm.
whole paradox and being stuck in that state where you could kind of
Do,
mixture of both.
do you feel that you have to, when it comes to Lunatide,
Mhm.
is this more of a fantasy or is it more reality? Do you have to act the part? Do you have to live up to the part, or is it easy for you to just go right in and add a character?
Mhm. I think for the version I'm picturing, I have to kind of live up to the part a little bit. It's a little more effort because I think the way I am now, I want to project it
So,
into Lunatide.
so Lunatide is where you foresee yourself,
Right.
the ultimate you. Okay. Well, now you have the blueprint, you have the roadmap to what you want, and you just have to do it. My advice to you is just do it. There's no more of, all right, when? Because, you know, I have
Mhm.
been in that situation like, all right, next month, next year, we just going to go ahead and do it. And I would psych
Right.
myself out every year like, this is going to be my year. This is going to be my summer. This is going to be my time. And it just kept being the same thing over and over and over and over and over again
Right.
until the pandemic happened. And it was like, all right, damn, it's shut down for real. When these lights come back on, you gonna walk out being the same person, or you gonna walk out being a person that you have been dreaming of being, you know, all this time. So when you get that opportunity, just do it. That's what I say.
I appreciate it. Those are great
Yeah,
words of wisdom.
yeah, definitely. And I know it's a process. Like I said, sometimes when you are becoming a new person,
Mhm.
it's so hard to start. And once you're in it,
Right.
you're like, all right, so we're in it. We got 1 month, 1 year versus 10, 20 years of thinking a certain way.
Mhm.
That's rough. That's a big bill. You're new you're fresh you could be into it for 2 years, right? But the
Right.
new you that's been doing it for 2 years is up against 10 years of thinking differently. And you're fighting
Mhm.
against the old to be the new. It's always, from there on, it's always a battle,
Oh yeah.
which is never really won. Every day, it's
Right.
like, all right, here we go again. Here we go again. We up against
Right.
years. So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and let them know anything new that's coming out. I know you said your new EP. You can let them know what the title is, where we can follow you at on any other social media platforms that you have, and yeah, any other words you want to go ahead and close out with.
Okay. So yes, I have a EP I'm working on to put out this year. So it's called California Flowers. I'm really excited about getting that out. So you can follow me at lunatize.official to keep up. And I'm definitely putting out updates as well as posting a lot more. So That'd be great. My final words: just live your truth, enjoy your life. Alrighty.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much for coming on again. Great conversation. Felt like at home.
For
So
having me.
yeah, thank you.
Uh, of course, thank you so much. Really appreciate you.
You're welcome. Take care.
Alrighty.
Good
Thank
night.
you too. Bye.
All right, y'all. So there you have it. That's Miss Luna Tide coming in all the way from Palm Springs, California. One of my favorite places. I was able to visit there once, and I've been dying to go back ever since. The weather is amazing. The food is amazing. Mm, I think we're going to try to get there this year. Keep my fingers crossed. We're going to try to go back this year. Um, let's see, Carol Page, how are you doing on TikTok? Where are you calling from? I appreciate you from coming in. I believe that you out there, King Trey. I appreciate you calling all the way from Connecticut. Thank you for joining in. And again, anybody who's out there listening on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, D Live, Twitch, I just want to say thank you so much. I appreciate you. If you want to support the 411 podcast and Reading Between the Wines, go ahead and click that link above all of my social media platforms. And again, I'll list them again: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube, D Live, Twitch. Go ahead and click the link above my social media platforms and go inside of Remix Journal, Volume 1.5, my new book. You can purchase it for $7.99, and that will obviously help support and keep everything that we got going on here rocking and rolling. Now, I want to give a very special thank you to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and give you all the 411 podcast one more time in life. I'm at a point now where we're just going to go in and come in night after night after night and let this thing do what it does. No expectations, and we'll see what happens. Um, not putting so much pressure on the situation. I had to take some time to sit back and think about the whole journey, think about the whole process, think about a point A to where we are right now, and just take it one day at a time. Easier said than done, especially if you're a person like me who's always constantly thinking and putting this piece together, and we gonna do this and we gonna do that, and this has to fit and that has to fit. Sometimes I sit back and be like, nah, chill. We've been there before when you overthink and you go too far in the future, and just gotta live right in the moment. And when you live right in the moment and you don't think and you don't put too much into a situation, I truly believe that that's where all of the blessings come. That's where the true people show up. That's where the true gifts show up, because you're able to just live it. And I think back to, damn, how many times did I miss out on some great things in life? And it was said to me, yeah, you're going to miss out on this, you're going to miss out on that, because you're not living in the moment. You can't even enjoy what's going on right now because you're too busy thinking too far ahead in the future, and you're too busy trying to manipulate, mastermind, put things together, force things together that really don't need to be. So I'm just sharing y'all some of my truth. Like, I have to learn each and every day to live in a moment. And when I feel that I am thinking too far ahead, planning things that really don't need to be planned, that's when I have to sit back and say, nah, Larry, chill. Like, if this is meant to be, then it's meant to be. Like, if it ain't, then it ain't. And if this situation ain't gonna work out, it ain't gonna work out. But what I do know is working out is what we got going on right here each and every night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I just want to say thank you all. And we're going to continue to live in a moment night after night right here on the 411 podcast. I want to say thank you. Now, tomorrow, I truly want to talk to some new people. So, tomorrow is freestyle sessions. If you want to speak to me tomorrow, you can text me at 609-738-0611. Again, that number is 609-738-0611. Text me tomorrow. I'll pull you up on the line. You can also request me live on Instagram. You can also request me live on TikTok. And you can speak to me tomorrow and see what it takes us. Saturday, we have Katana coming in. Now, remember, After we're done on Saturday, we're going to head on over to Midnight Vibes on Alex Coquito's YouTube page. That is Alex, and his last name is Coquito. Alex Coquito, Midnight Vibes, all the way in Puerto Rico. You're going to get definitely going to get some different topics because he is real funny and you should check him out. I was on a show last week, and that's how this whole thing, came about. The vibe was crazy, and he was like, "All right, so I think we should, do this every week." So I was like, "Well, I'm doing a 4-in-1 podcast anyway, and I'm already set up." So yeah, after that, then I'm gonna head right on over. So Midnight Vibes on YouTube every Saturday, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that would be an equivalent to midnight over in Puerto Rico. Midnight Vibes, Mr. Alex Coquito. Check him out on YouTube. Coquito. Again, thank you so much to everybody for joining in, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Freestyle sessions, and again, what's up, Ohio? I see you out there. Um, Tomorrow, you want to talk to me? Text me 609-738-0611. I'm right here on the 41 podcast. Get you pulled up. E-Rock, where are you calling from? Thank you for joining in. All right, y'all. I'll see you tomorrow, 10 p.m. right here, Eastern Standard Time. 411 Podcast Freestyle Sessions. I hope to speak to you tomorrow night. Take care, y'all. Good night. Good night. Good night.